Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Two of Cups, this is love. I feel like you're moving into a season of great love in your life. Doesn't have to be romantic love. Put your pitchforks away. It could be. It could be romantic love. It could be platonic love. It could be divine love. It could be self-love. But this is connection, okay? This is saying that something that you're in love with is in love with you. There's harmony, there's union, there's affection. This is a meaningful bond in your life, and it needs to be prioritized, okay? So that's the situation. Let's put it into a little bit of context, okay? Let's see what's going on with this love. This love is secure. This love is stable. This love isn't going anywhere, but it does need to evolve. It does need maintenance. It does need, for us to continue working on it in order to expand and grow this thing. Okay, there's a lot of potential here for this in this love. Princess of Pentacles. Five of Wands. It hasn't always been easy, though, the love, huh? There's been rough patches. These are growing pains. It may have been difficult at the beginning. Four of Cups. So it does kind of feel that there is something that needs movement again. Okay, the four and the four, too many fours. We need another five. We need something that's going to stimulate more growth, more evolution. Okay? Ooh, we got an Empress there. The Princess of Pentacles is ready to become an Empress. This is a very fertile time for you, and I think that it's important that you continue putting in effort into whatever this relationship is. This could be with a person, it could be with an idea, it could be something at work, at home, at school. It doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. But we do see that this love is here and that this love is ready to evolve and ready to go to the next level. Okay? This could be your love for the job you have, for the career that you're in. It's ready to bring more abundance. Here we have a Prince of Pentacles. We've got the Seven of Swords. Five of Swords. At least there's another five. And we have the Sun card. Oh, my goodness. Like I said, a lot of fertility here. For some of you, I think that there is a family in your future, okay, or a pregnancy. I'm just going to be straightforward with you. We kind of see that's kind of like the way the relationship is headed. Feels like there is expansion. It feels like your family is getting larger by at least one person, okay? Some of you may know somebody that is getting ready to have a child, or who is thinking about or trying to expand their family. Okay, and so that could be part of the energy surrounding you. It could be exactly what you're doing. But I think also this is a reading of taking something that's working now and understanding, well, what's the next step? We don't want it to just stagnate in the four. How do we stimulate this so it can grow a little? How do we expand it? How do we make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better? Something you're doing, something that you love, is functioning well. Okay? But it is in need of a larger space. So something either needs to take up more space in your life, you have to give it more room to grow. It could be that the shoes that you're wearing are getting a little snug. It's time to get some bigger shoes. It could be the fishbowl that you're in, right? Time to upgrade. So I feel like there is an expansive energy that is needed here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with our little Tibetan prayer wheel right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. At the end of the reading, if at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments below. Now, as we look around the room, I can give you a sideways interpretation, right? There's something that is, there's a potential in you, okay? And this is something that may really be growing inside of you. This is a card of motherhood, and this, of course, is the sun, right? So this is something that is being born through you. It's a very fertile time for you. So this could be that new idea. You're sort of pregnant with new ideas, and this is you now kind of, being the parent to that idea. And this is, of course, that glorious idea. It could be that you are going through a rebirth process of your own spiritually, okay? It could be that you are literally giving birth to something. And it could be an idea, it could be that creativity, it could be you're producing something from yourself that is kind of a version of you, a little mini version of you, So different ways anyway of interpreting that, but it's kind of a little sideways thing here. You're going to be giving birth to something anyway. So we have our major arcana cards. We have those two, the Empress and the Sun. And very strongly mother and child energy is very prominent here. So this could be any kind of a mother to, let's say mother to child, right? Or parent to child relationship is going to be very important in your life right now. Whether that's the central focus of your life, or if there is a strained relationship between a parent and a child, it's a good time to think about how do we reconnect there, okay? We've got fire. We've obviously got water and water, air and air, earth and earth and earth, okay? So starting out with the love. A lot of love in your life right now. This is the one-on-one connection, though. There's something or someone in your life that needs you to be present with it and nothing else. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, an idea, whether it's your art, your creativity, or it's the book that you're writing, I don't know. Maybe it's you, But there's something or someone in your life that needs one-on-one time with you. Could be your pet, could be a plant, could be a person. Quality time. It's not a quantity of time, and it certainly cannot be distracted time. Prioritize that one-on-one connection. Okay? There is a relationship here that's ready for the next step, the next level. And I think that you've been dealing with a little bit of doubt, or maybe a little bit of apprehension because there's something about it you don't trust, or there's other people in your life that are kind of giving you some doubts, there's just I feel like there's some naysayers around you. Some people giving you their opinion and making you kind of think, well, maybe they're right. Okay. I feel like this is a love that you need to protect. I feel like whoever is around you that's criticizing this doesn't know what they're talking about, okay? Don't let their negativity seep in and infect your thoughts. Your heart is the compass here, so follow this. If it feels real to you, it is real. This is a connection that is genuine. It is mutual. And it needs your one-on-one quality attention. You have to make this thing feel like they're the only person that matters, the only person in the world, the only thing in the world. When you're writing the book, it's just you and the book. It's you and the idea. It's you and the story. It's you and the dog. When you're out at the dog park playing with your dog, you're not distracted by all the other dogs. It's just you. You're bonding quality time with that one thing. It's probably a person, but whatever it may be, we need to focus on that and give it the attention that it needs, because the Four of Pentacles here is like we're trying to protect that relationship. We're trying to create a safe place where this relationship can grow and develop into something bigger and better than it even is now, right? We're trying to give this relationship structure, stability, having boundaries, making it feel safe, protecting what we're building here, strengthening a foundation of trust, a foundation of reciprocity, mutual love and affection, respect, encouragement, upliftment. That's the foundation. That's the trust. That is the mutual two-way street of love. That is, the firm basis for anything that may grow beyond this. Okay? You're protecting what you've built because you love it, you care about it, you have a connection to it, you want to keep it safe. Maybe it's your story, your idea, your musical, your creativity maybe, right? Or the job, or the business, or the brand that you've created. Okay, so we could see how this applies to different things. You're creating financial and emotional boundaries and security. Safety, security, stability. You're clearing out the environment to give space to this thing that you love. It's kind of like you get the dog. Okay, you're clearing out some space in your bedroom so you can put the dog bed. Or you're clearing off some space on the bed so the dog can sleep on the bed with you, You're devoting some of your resources to this thing that you love. You get a new pet, you're going to have to devote some space to a litter box, or where they have their food and where they keep their toys and the places that it's sort of designated that it can go. Maybe you don't want it on the, swinging from the chandeliers or anything, but you have to give it space. You're going to give it time. You're going to give it your energy and your effort. You're going to give it money. You got to buy it things. You got to pay for its food and stuff, And you have to give it space. Physical space in your house, but also space in your life, space in your heart, room in your life for this thing that you love. So decluttering the environment, clearing out things, clearing out a space so that it has room for you. It has room in your life. Because the worst thing is for something to feel like you don't have time for it. Or for it's a person, right? You don't have time for them. Your life is too crowded that there's no room for them in your life. You don't want them to feel that way. You don't want to feel that way either, right, in their life. You're choosing this thing, this person. You're choosing this love. Okay. Because it matters. Okay. Now, Princess of Pentacles underneath the surface here. I think you're choosing it because, one, you love it. And one, you realize that this is something that can go all the way. You realize that this is there's a potential here. See, what I always say about the Princess of Pentacles is that it has the potential to grow into the Empress, to transform into the best life. This is an investment. This is like when you're seeing a little patch of dirt outside and you're thinking, this has the potential to be a really lush, vegetable garden. There's potential in this. If I put in the effort, this can reward me. So if this is an idea, if this is a creative thing, if this is a job or a career or a business that you're starting, you realize that with proper love, this thing could be with you, could be a part of your life for years and years and years to come. If it's a relationship, you know that this isn't the person itself, this is the relationship, right? that this relationship, if it's nourished and nurtured, and if it's given time, effort, energy, money, and space, if it's given love, right, that this could be the one. This could be something that you grow and build into an everlasting thing. Okay? So this is like, it feels like you're laying that groundwork for this long-term success. You're going slow and steady. You're building that relationship. You're building that life. And you're not rushing through it. Okay? You're nourishing. And you're staying consistent. You're showing up every day. Okay? And I think that you're sort of, right now, perhaps with the swords cards we have here, the 5 and the 7, I feel like you're kind of asking yourself, like, this has great potential in it. I know that this is a situation that could be really, really rewarding, long-term. What's it going to cost me? What am I going to have to invest in it in order for that to happen? How much time, effort, energy, money, and space are you going to have to give this so that it really blossoms into everything that it could be? Well, if this is real, true love, I kind of feel like it's the pearl of great price. There's no price tag too heavy for this. That you would give your all to this. Because it really feels like it's worth it. Okay. So I feel that, with this, we need to understand that what we're doing now is we're laying a good foundation of safety, security, stability, trust, love, mutual affection, and upliftment, and all this stuff. We're setting those foundational, even habits, that are going to prepare us for the bigger things. Of course, we have our builder energy here too with the prince, the princess, and the prince. This is kind of like the raw material, and this is the one that's coming and building the barn out of all that lumber. Okay? We got to build the base first. We have to have a good foundation. Yeah, a good garden bed. Yeah. And the 5 of Wands that we have back here, this kind of feels like maybe at the beginning of this thing there was some difficulty, some challenges, and maybe it's like the two of you were just kind of getting to know each other and figuring out like what the power dynamic is or what the personality differences might be. And now with the 4, things have gotten stabilized. We've gotten into a fairly good routine, right? But this was maybe friction. There was some tension, testing boundaries, a little bit of push and pull, right? Not really a problem, just a little bit of friction. Yeah. And so, I think that this is a necessary phase. This is like, we're trying to get to know each other. We're trying to see what this is really going to entail. What is it actually going to be like in practice? So that we can learn each other's habits and learn the techniques and learn the flow, and we can get into a nice rhythm with each other, right? This is, you're growing a business, growing pains. The difficulty, most businesses lose a ton of money in their first year because you're figuring things out. That's where you have to it's the 5-fingered hand, right? Reaching out and trying something for the first time. The first year of your business, it's going to be, you got to buy the equipment. You got to spend the money. You're going to make mistakes that you didn't really know. There's no way to prevent them, but a lot of time, effort, energy, money, and space going into something at first. By the second year, you will have figured all that stuff out. Your profit margin is going to be larger. But in the first year, that's when you're like, you got to get the first round of equipment, the first everything. First time I'm doing it, it's going to cost me a lot more. Once I get the hang of it, next year and the year after, it's going to be more routine. We're going to get into a rhythm, And so I feel like this is that first period of time with this thing that felt very challenging. Okay? But you're staying aligned with your direction. You didn't give up or quit or anything like that, you know. Holding your center, you handled that pressure very well, and well, here we are now, where we're ready to sort of ready to expand on things again. With the Four of Cups up here, there is a emotional stability, but I feel that this is like we've gotten very comfortable. Okay, this is a card of luxury. This is a card of resting. And this is a card of like, things are good, but things are not great. Things aren't bad, but things aren't spectacular either. Like the boat's not sinking. There are no holes in the boat. But there's no party on the boat either. It's like things have gotten kind of routine, and now I'm feeling kind of, I don't know, feeling a little bit like it's bland. It's a little milk toast. We need a little spice. We got to put a little cardamom, a little cinnamon on there or something, you know? A little bit of sugar. We got to spice things up. Okay? So I feel like really, if this is the relationship or the business, and you can look at it either way, needs a little bit of something to make it grow. Needs a little bit of heat. Needs a little bit of spice. There's some sort of stimulation that's needed now. We need a new spark. And one of the fours by themselves wouldn't really be an issue, but we have both of them now, and it kind of feels like we're just in this routine. It's a 4 and a 4. We're making a figure 8. We just keep, circling back. It's kind of like the days are all blending together. Nothing much is really changing. We want expansive growth. We want movement outward like this, not just like same old, same old, same old. Okay? So we've gotten very comfortable in the way things have been. Like the Two of Cups said, something's ready to move on to the next level. Yeah, it's time. We're pretty good at doing what we're doing now. We're in a good rhythm. We're in a good routine now. Feels like it's time to take the next step. It's time to expand the business, open up the second location, introduce the new item on the menu, or take the relationship to the next level. Maybe we'll meet the parents or something like that, or the first night that we sort of spend away from home together. I don't know what it is. Taking it to the next level maybe is expanding the family or something, yeah. You get the idea. I don't want to put any ideas in your head, but I think you kind of, you know where you are now, and you know that this is a very, very functional combination. But it's now feeling like it needs a little boost. It needs a little something extra. It's timed. It's the natural time to go to the next level. You don't want to do it too soon, but you don't want to linger here either. Okay? Because if this is a business, right, you linger here and you're losing the momentum. Okay? If you don't introduce the new sandwich on the menu or introduce the new product or the new service or open up the second location, we're going to get stuck here. And then there's no growth. There has to be growth. We have to continue innovating, thinking of new ideas, experimenting, okay, in order to keep things evolving, let's say. Anyway, the Empress card here is the abundance. This is the flourishing of the garden. This is the big rock candy mountain. This is you getting closer and closer to just that perfect life, okay? Your paradise. This is the best life, okay? This is we're getting closer and closer to our goal in life. We're nourishing this relationship, and it is growing. We're giving it love. We're giving it help and compliments. We're giving it support. We're beautifying this. We are creating, and we're saying yes to whatever this might want. We're feeding it everything that it can get. This is us cultivating the garden. Okay, cultivating the garden. We are creating. And yes, this may be a mother energy. Could be that, we're moving forward toward becoming a parent. Yeah. It could be that our life is maturing, and we are maturing into our life, especially if, we are the princess of Pentacles. We're ready to continue our growth and our evolution. We don't want to stay here, because this is eventually we will realize that this is limiting our growth. See, the Four of Pentacles is supposed to be a temporary structure, not a permanent base. Okay, so this is, this is supposed to evolve. This is supposed to continue on. Yeah. So if we stay here, then it's just kind of like when you keep a tomato plant in a little pot, it's not going to grow very big. It's limited. Its roots can't spread out, and it can't grow bigger. So what you do is what do? Get a bigger pot for your tomatoes? Or you plant them directly in the ground, and you can grow as big as you want, dear tomato. And that's when you get tomatoes like the size of pumpkins, But you can't do that if you keep it in a small pot. And so something needs a larger platform. You need to be able to extend your reach in some way. And the relationship too, it needs to expand. It needs to continue to grow and evolve. And maybe that just means you're gonna move to get a bigger house, or you're gonna go on a vacation, or you're gonna set up some kind of a goal together, a joint venture where it's just saying, let's set a goal for this year, and this will be our goal. Big Rock Candy Mountain, Paradise Garden of Eden, the good life, the Emerald City. This is the goal. And I think that we need to have some kind of a goal set up so we have something to work toward, evolve into, and expand toward, rather than just getting locked into that figure 8, where it's every day is the same, and it's before we know it, life is over, right? We need to have an Emerald City so that we can walk the yellow brick road together, with this thing. So we need to be focused on the future in that way. We have to keep building. Now, I want you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I want you to let me know which card on the Path of the Dove resonates with you the most. Before we talk about the Path of the Serpent, we're going to do an oracle card of manifestation. Here we have wild creation. Allow energy to flow freely rather than trying to force the outcomes. I am open to surprises. Okay? Rather than the energy being locked into a particular routine, even though this is a rhythm, this is functioning very well, it's not free, right? So the idea there is that we need to be surprised. We need to to have a goal so that we have a path. The summit of the mountain exists only to justify the climb. We've got to have a journey so that there is surprises, so that there's something happens. It doesn't matter what the goal is. What matters is that it gives us something to do together, or if this is just you or whatever, but it gives you a journey, it gives you a quest. The mystery card will probably be the Fool. Okay? I am open to surprises. Yeah. And that's part of the 4. The 4 is too closed off. The 4 is like, I need to be open now. I need to open up the doors. We need to go outside, and we need to have an adventure. We need to find a way to sort of take this life, beyond its current kind of, restrictions. Yeah. We got to go beyond the castle walls here and see what's out there in the wild. So I like that wild creation. It works with our castle. This is the builder. You're somebody that shows up every day. You have a consistent, diligent energy about you. Anybody in your life knows that when you say you're going to do something, you're there. You're going to help me move on Sunday, you're there. You're showing up early, ready to work. You're not showing up in your bathrobe and your slippers like, obviously, you're not here to really move furniture, are you? No, you're there and you're ready to go. You got your tools. You probably even have one of those back braces, You need that if you're moving furniture. Gosh, I move furniture, never used a back brace. I regret that now. But, you have this reliability to you. a consistency. You follow through with what you say you're going to do. And this is a discipline now. And it's devotion. Your devotion to whatever is in your life or whatever we're talking about for you. Your devotion is inspiring your discipline. You're showing up every day because you're devoted. And you're focused on the steps that you're taking. You're focused on the journey itself, not necessarily the destination. And I think that this is also about the management of resources. I feel like this is you realizing that whatever you're cultivating is requiring your time, effort, energy, money, and space, maybe requiring your physical resources. If you are planning to have a family, it's going to take a lot of your resources. You're going to have to show up every day. You're going to have to show your devotion to that path. Whatever your path is, anyway. Yeah, you're the builder. And I like it. We have 7 of Swords, though, which shows me in the environment and in your relationships, you have somebody that's trying to convince you not to. Okay? This is a need for privacy, a need for caution, a need to protect your beliefs, right? You don't need to announce this to everyone because you will be inviting criticism. If you make an announcement, get ready for the haters and the naysayers to come and tell you their opinions. You post this on the internet, and guess what? You're going to get a lot of people telling you how wrong you are. Hey, everybody, I'm going back to school. Oh, you're a fool. Okay? Whatever it is. There's going to be critics. And you don't want to open yourself up to that. We're trying to protect whatever this love is. You don't need to tell everybody. I feel like there's already probably people in your life that don't approve of your relationship or about what you're doing, about whatever that love is. There are already people that don't approve of it, right? Approve of it. Nonsense. It's jealousy. Okay? By being too public about it, too vocal, you're inviting those jealous people to send their negativity your way. So just be aware of that. If you want to announce it and scream it from the mountaintops, fine. But just know that you're probably going to get some mean comments. That's all right? So you might want to move in silence a little bit as things develop more. Let things get a little further along before you tell everybody. Not everybody needs to have access to your inner world. Again, with that 2 of Cups, you're trying to make this thing feel like it's the only thing that exists, or this person, right? So if this is a business, you're just trying to give that business all the love, all the devotion that it needs. You don't need to be distracted by all these other things out here that really don't matter. Especially if you feel then you're sort of drawn into this entanglement, drawn into this drama where you have to defend yourself, you have to justify yourself, you have to argue. No. You don't need that stuff. Those are distractions. Those are entanglements that we don't need. Protect your time, effort, energy, money, and space. Protect your intentions. Hold your plans close, okay? Don't let yourself get distracted by those low vibrational people, the negative energies, the haters, or the naysayers, or the instigators. Especially with a 5 of Swords here, too. This is the energy you don't want. You don't want conflict. You don't want to have to justify. You don't want to have to explain. You don't want to have to communicate with everybody because then that is a higher chance of miscommunication. You don't want any unnecessary conversations because they can turn sharp at any moment. You don't want to argue. You don't want to engage in those kinds of things. You don't need the last word. If somebody has something negative to say, you don't need to respond to it. And it may be hurting your pride a little bit, and that's why it's sometimes better to just keep your plans to yourself or to your inner circle kind of thing, Choosing peace. You're protecting this thing and not exposing it to negative energy, especially if you're pregnant with a child, yeah. And so there is a very protective energy around you right now. This is also the card of kind of asking questions and trying to figure things out and just trying to learn, okay? And, you know, trying to make good decisions the best that we can. And it's okay to get advice or constructive criticism from other people if we ask for it. But whatever you are doing, everybody's going to try to give you advice. Everybody. And especially for my wife and I, we've got a 5-year-old daughter, and I know that when we were pregnant, everybody tried to give us advice. And even when our kid was born, and she was, you know, an infant, and you know, and even to this day, people are always going to try to give you parenting advice. I don't know why that is. Even people who aren't parents, you know, try to give the parenting advice, and it's so silly. And I just say, "Oh, thanks, Dad. That's a great idea." You know, so just be prepared for that. That's all. But protect your peace. Not everything needs to be a battle. Let it go. It's not worth it. You got more important things to focus on than fielding everybody's nonsense. Okay? Anyway, the Sun card is finally here, and I know this is a rebirth. This is the birth of something new. This is success. This is joy. All right? Could be a bundle of joy. And then, you know what? This isn't the first reading that we've had lately that is kind of overtly about children or pregnancy or growing, expanding a family, okay? So I don't know, maybe it's just the season where a lot of you are kind of, you know, are considering that, or there's a lot of that stuff going on. I'm not really sure, but this is success. You know, this is you shining. This is you glowing. You're glowing. You're radiating your light. You're feeling good. You're celebrating the growth. You're spending time with this thing, this idea, this love. Okay? And you're celebrating that love. You know? And there's clarity, there's joy, there's happiness. It's beautiful. This is optimism, this is cheerfulness. This is your energy rising. Yeah. This is a celebration. Let's look at the mystery card. I would really love for it to be the Fool. It could be an Ace of Pentacles. It could be an Ace of Cups even. Yeah, it could be a Three of Cups. Maybe it's the Emperor. We have the Empress. Maybe we need the Emperor. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's take a look. The Page of Pentacles again. The same as the Princess. The Princess, the Page, same thing. Maybe you're having twins. Maybe somebody's having twins. I feel like there is some twins energy here. Because you look at the Sun card and it does show twins. Okay? The twin babes in the Sun card. And we have two of these princesses or pages of Pentacles. So there might be some twins around you somewhere or something in this situation. But this is, again, kind of a reference to this card that's saying, look, there is such potential here. We have to give something more room to grow. You know, it's like when my wife and I had our daughter, when she was born, we lived in a little apartment, a little tiny apartment. And our daughter was starting to grow. And when she was like 9, 10, 11 months, she started walking. And more like, 10 months, 11 months, she was just stood up and she started taking her first steps. And we realized, we got to get a bigger place. Because for one thing, we lived on the top floor, so there were stairs. And there were people below us, right? So we were, if our daughter was running around, it's like the neighbors. And we got to find a place that's on the ground floor. We ended up finding a little house that was bigger than the apartment, obviously, but it was pretty similar price. So we said, well, we could probably squeeze it and do it. And so we got, and it had a backyard, So we got a little bit of a bigger space. And that allowed this thing, our daughter, our life, our family, to grow a little bit more. Now, this doesn't have to be about, physical space for you, but giving something more room in your life, giving something the attention that it deserves so that it can grow. And like with a child, with our daughter too, giving it constant attention, giving the plant not only the space it needs to grow, but giving it the attention, the love, spending time with it. And like our daughter too, talking to her, playing with her, spending time with her. She's been with us everywhere we go. She's with us. She's never spent a night away from us. She goes to my doctor's appointments with me. She goes to the grocery store with us. She goes everywhere with us. And we're very blessed and we're very lucky. Whatever this is for you, it needs more of you. Okay? It just wants to be with you, And I think this really has the potential, even if this is your business, spend more time on the business. Let's figure out what the business needs in order to grow. Is this the time where you got to open up the second location? Do you have to hire some more people? Is it time to put a new sandwich on the menu? Let's figure that out, okay? Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we are all in this together.